You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.
Hi, welcome to the Question Reality Radio Show. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of this show, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Where else would I be? For over 20 years, in case you're just tuning in, for over 20 years, I have questioned the reality of Oscar nominees, Emmy Award winners, Grammy Award winners, Tony Award winners, and reality stars. You know, I love my reality TV, and just other winners and showbiz heavyweights. And they have pretty much given us the scoops on what it's like working in the show business industry. And they spill the tea. They just spill it. There's some Gossip Girl stuff happening, and Gossip Guy, but Gossip Girl, about the trials and the tribulations and the honest reality of what it's like working in the entertainment industry. And what is our goal for this show? To inspire, motivate, but most importantly to me, educate. A lot of people come out here with $50 in their pocket, and they leave with 49 cents in a week. You cannot do that. So the people who come on the show, I do ask that they give tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to make it in show business. But planning, my grandmother used to say, if you fail to plan, then plan to fail. And I love that. And I've always kept that little, is that a platitude? I think it is. Okay. So we're going to have a super fun time together because the guest tonight is just absolutely, he seems like so much fun. We are going to talk to you about his particular company. But before we go on, I got to tell you one thing. I'm losing concentration here because I just thought I grabbed a bottle of water and I took a drink, and it was lemon juice. And I'm processing right now, as you can see, what it's like to drink raw lemon juice. I'm losing my marbles over here. Okay, so are we going to have a super fun time today? Absolutely. Is the show funny and the guests funny? Check. Is it highly energetic? Well, you can figure that out. I'm from the East Coast. We're all highly energetic. Absolutely. Is it entertaining? Absolutely. Jay's going to be bringing the fun. He's going to be bringing some, I think he's a funny guy. We're going to have to see. But I would say you bet your shiny Oscar on that. So tune in every week, and we will leave you with a lap full of advice and a heart full of laughter, hopefully. And if you want to be booked on the show, if you'd like to appear, you have someone that you would like to refer to come on the show, here's how you do it. You go to our website, questionrealityradioshow.com. questionrealityradioshow.com. It used to be a radio show. I got to figure out some way to get rid of the radio show, but that's what we're branded and marketed as. I originally, over 22 years ago, as my loyal fans of the show know, we started out on cable television for 6 years. And then I did go to work at a radio station, LA Talk Radio, and we were there from 2008 to 2024, and it was still a radio show. Now it's a podcast, but just imagine I'm saying podcast, not radio. It's all right. Everything's good. So again, if you'd like to come on the show, questionrealityradioshow.com, or you can email me directly at priscillaleona@yahoo.com. And if you missed any of our shows, as you know, we have had not only the Emmy, Grammy, Tony, and Oscar nominees and winners on the show, but we have people in all, actually, we have behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. So we have production assistants, wardrobe people, we have entertainment attorneys, we have celebrities, of course, but they're in front of. But behind the scenes are very interesting shows. A lot of people come out here and they want to be a star And then they find out, you know what? I actually like being a production assistant. I actually want to be a behind the scenes. I want to be a director. I want to be a producer. I want to be a script supervisor. So it very well can happen. And we have everyone. We've had everyone. So if you go to the website, we have it broken down by category of career. So you can watch an interview with someone. If you want to be a script supervisor, it's there. Again, go to our YouTube channel at Priscilla Leona, LinkedIn, X, TikTok at Priscilla Leona, Facebook at Priscilla Leona, Facebook page, questionrealityradioshow.com, and then the website. You see that there's a branding there. Another tip for you: if you are starting out in business, you have to brand yourself consistently in all social media across the board. And lastly, we ask a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini favor. If you like the guest on our show today, please go to his or her site and give them a little thumb. Consider following, subscribing. You know, it's very important in the world today to give a little thumb. So we would hope that you do that, as well as the show. If you like our show, we are accepting thumbs all day long. Okay, on to our guest for the day. Most exciting part of the show. We're going to tell you a little bit about him. His name is Jay. I hope I pronounced the last name correctly. Cowal or Cowal. I should have asked him that before, but yeah, there he is, little cutie in some water. I wonder if that's real water, or it looks like it's real water, but we're going to ask him. That's a cute picture. I like that. That's Jay Cowal. He is a man who traded in his corrections officer prison guard uniform for a podcast mic. Yes, after 12 years of keeping the peace in Canadian correctional facilities, Jay decided it was high time to keep conversations rolling instead. And now, as the CEO and founder of Podstars, Jay's mission is to sprinkle a little bit of celebrity stardust on every podcast. And Podstars is the magical kingdom. I imagine Jay just sprinkling stuff over his little magical kingdom where he has dreams of interviewing some of your favorite entertainment industry figures, and he makes it come true. Whether your podcast dives into the mysteries of the universe or dissects the art of pancake flipping, Podstarz has it all. They have all kinds of shows. They offer just a wide range. Now, this particular picture is interesting because do you see the guy in the Star Trek uniform? That is Tim Russ, and he is a very good friend of my friend Jeff. They have been very good friends for decades. So when I saw this on Podstars, I said, oh my God, I can't wait to talk to Jay about Tim. And as you see down the bottom, I think that's maybe possibly Roseanne's ex-husband, Tom Arnold. I'm going to just say that, and then Jay can correct me. I'm not familiar with the two other ladies, but Tim is on there. Who else do we have? Now there's my girl. I don't know how Jay got a hold of Calda Music, but as you know, if you're a regular fan of the show, she's been on our show for years. I try to get her on at least once every couple years because she is just a mountainside of information. She is very, very intelligent and very well versed in the entertainment industry, and she gives great advice. I would highly recommend. Oh, we have someone. Sudi Rick Carrata says, hi, Priscilla. Well, hello, Sudi Rick Carrata. I came to Hollywood with nothing and I'm leaving with less. Oh, I find that hard to believe. Tom Arnold was in my movie Walk a Mile in My Pradas. I did not know that, Sudi. we're going to have to talk. But I know you just came out with a book, and I know that you have written several Christmas songs, which I'm going to try to get into one of my Christmas films. I am producer for another Christmas film this year. And as you know, for me returning your email, I'm going to try to get it on the list. Not up to me. It's the executive producer. I'm just a producer, but I'm going to try. Oh, look who we have here. Seinfeld's Jay Peterman. We loved him on Seinfeld. I don't think his name, I think Jay Peterman was the character name, but I might be wrong. But I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But I do know he was on Seinfeld. He might be Jay Peterman. Josie Bassett. Now look at that. Loved her. If anybody watched Melrose Place, everybody knows I'm a 90210 Melrose Place Desperate Housewives fanatic. So I loved Josie Bassett. My husband had a huge crush on her. We let that go. But look at the people that he has on his show. Isn't that fantastic? So if you, look, and there are other categories. We got a singer category, an athlete category, an author category. So don't quote me on this because Jay will explain it, but I would imagine he has various categories. And if you have a podcast show, if you want to bring on these particular people that he has showcased, that is an option. I don't know how it works, but again, we're going to find out when we talk to him. So, but there you go. So, if you enjoy our show, please make sure you subscribe. Let me just finish the, Kelda music is on. There's my girl. Fire, fire, fire. We love you. Did you see your cute little picture on the screen? Albert, why don't we put Kelda music back on that screen? We want to look at that beautiful little hottie. There she is. Kelda music, a.k.a. Diva. Oh, my God. She's so gorgeous, isn't she? And so super successful. I would highly recommend, hey. Yep. I would recommend that you go to her website or hire her. Oh, you're welcome. Hire her through Podstars to be a guest on your show. So let me get through Jay's bio, for God's sake. All right. So I would imagine he has a ton of different shows. He's going to tell us about it. And if that wasn't enough, what I already said, the site basically boasts over 150 extraordinary professionals and podcast guests who are just, I would imagine, brimming with fascinating stories and insights and just eager to be grilled by the podcast community. So, why don't you head on over to Podstars.net? Look at that. Can you resist that face? Look at big hug. I want a big hug from Jay. Head on over to Podstars.net and Jay will help you to turn your podcast into a star-studded extravaganza, I imagine. Podstars.net. On Instagram, it's at Podstars_net. Facebook, Podstars. X and Twitter, Podstars Team, and TikTok, Podstars Team at the Pods. Oh, that's a long one. At the Podstars Team Podcast. Woo! I need a drink of water after that. So now what I want to do, it's a little different than my usual shows. I just loved this video. This was part of the vetting process to have Jay come on our show. And I saw this video, and I think he explains perfectly what Podstars is about. So without further ado, we're going to watch this very short video. And when we come back, we will have him answer any questions directly about Podstars.net. So take it away. Let's watch that video.
Podstars community, I'm Jay, and I'm the CEO and founder of the innovative podcast guest booking website, Podstars. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a podcast guest booking website be innovative when they've been around forever, and heck, I'm even part of one? Well, here's where Podstars stands out from the others. We offer over 200 incredible celebrities for you to book for your podcast at the click of a button. If you're a podcaster that's doing true crime, which we all know is the #1 podcast genre in the world, Podstars has lawyers, judges, NYPD, FDNY, CSI experts, sheriffs, and even members from Court TV who talk true crime all day but still want to be booked for your podcast at Podstars.net. If you're a wrestling podcast, we definitely have you covered there. We have WWF Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, Devon Dudley, and Candice Michelle, not to mention over 25 other professional wrestlers all on the website ready to be booked right now. If you're looking for actors, we have Tom Arnold from True Lies and Roseanne, Tim Russ from Star Trek Voyager, Sean Kanan from Cobra Kai, and John O'Hurley, who played Mr. Peterman from Seinfeld, all on the website right now. We have chefs, entrepreneurs, models, actors, athletes from the NFL, WNBA, Major League Baseball, and that's just a small sample of what Podstars brings to the podcast community. But wait, there's more. For every podcast booked through our website, if you send us your podcast logo, we'll send you back a special graphic with the picture of the talent that you can put out onto your socials to promote your upcoming interview. And don't forget to tag Podstars on the post so that we can retweet it and share it and like it and comment and all that good stuff, but so can the talent who you're interviewing. Every podcaster has to stand out nowadays. There's 4 million registered podcasters out there. You have to do something different. So why not head to Podstars.net and book a talent like Ellen Dubin from The Mandalorian, or Christmas Abbott from Big Brother, or the WWF Tag Team Champions Demolition, all ready to be booked at Podstars.net and come on your show for an amazing interview. Joe Rogan is the #1 podcaster in the world. Is it because he asks the hard-hitting questions or he is the best interviewer? No, it's because he has a never-ending Rolodex of friends and talent that he can just scroll through that come on his show and want to promote their projects, and also his downloads go through the roof. Look at Club Shay Shay and Theo Vaughn, the other highest podcasters up in the world right now. They're doing the exact same thing. They're all recycling their friends and coworkers, and their downloads are going through the roof. Podstars wants to give you that same opportunity, because while you're chasing down celebrities on social media, which is great, but your time can be better spent elsewhere, like knowing when your interview is by clicking the button at Podstars.net, where we send you out reminder emails to both parties to make sure no one forgets about their responsibilities. We convert time zones. You know the celebrity is going to show up, and you know they're going to provide a great interview, because Podstars.net has been open for almost 2 years, and we're going strong, and we haven't had one complaint yet. Knock on wood. Head to Podstars.net right now. Browse through over 200 incredible celebrities, and while you're there, don't forget to check out the other section of Podstars, which is the amazing professional category, which is only $8.99 a month, which is less than a grande latte at Starbucks. But for $8.99 a month at Podstars, we gain access to 200 professionals that you can book for your podcast right now. Follow Podstars.net on all social media platforms, and we will not only like you, but we will follow you back and comment on your posts when we can. Follow us because we're adding new talent every day, all week, all month. We are working extremely hard to make sure that you get the best possible podcast interviews and get your downloads up and get the steam going for your podcast, which at the end of the day is your passion. Podstars.net, where we care about you and we want you to have the best interview possible and succeed, and we are connecting the impossible.
I love it! Put me in, coach! Put me in, coach! Wow, you got me so hyped up. I'm already high energy, but now I feel like getting on the football field and throwing a ball or playing hacky sack. My God, that was fantastic. You are a great hype man. Did you ever think about that?
Priscilla, your introduction, like I feel like I'm humbled. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I rewrote it a little bit.
It's all good. All good.
Wow. I'm so excited about you. Well, you know, I'm so excited about what you do and what you're offering to the podcast world. Now, granted, I have not gone out there and done a lot of research on if there are other people who have services like you. I'm just worrying about my show. But I would imagine that every podcaster eventually runs out of guests and needs help. So you're offering a phenomenal service, which is going to really free up a person's time and effort in booking guests. So, but we're going to unpack that. But I got to ask you a couple questions. Wait a minute. First of all, I like the oat. That's so Canadian. I watch a lot of Canadian television, especially Murdoch murder mysteries, and they're always saying oat, and I'm like, oat. I love that. Oh. Okay, so you were a corrections officer for 12 years in Canada. So why did you initially choose to work that profession? And the second question is, what were the pros and cons of being a correction officer? And I ask that because I love cold case files, forensic files. I watch every criminal show. I think, oh, those poor correction officers have to deal with those people, and I'd be so scared to work in that environment. So tell me, why did you initially choose that career?
I'm going to be completely honest here. All cards on the table.
Yeah.
I got my now wife pregnant back in the day, and I needed to choose a career to support my family because I wanted to step up and be a man.
Yeah.
So
you had to get a day job.
I did. And I was a massive fan of the TV show Oz. So I don't know if you ever watched that show.
Yeah.
But I was a massive fan of that show. And I knew that it was something that I thought I could do. So I applied and I went through all the testing. And 12 years later, that's what I did.
Wow. But what eventually said you? What made you say, okay, 12 years is enough. I want to start my own podcast channel. That is like night and day. How did you come to that decision?
Again, cards on the table. It wasn't actually my choice. We had a mutual parting of ways, that career and myself.
Okay.
And I had to make a life decision. I had to say, like, do I really want to keep going back to work, or do I want to change the world? And I thought Podstars was going to do that for me. So that's what I did. During the first
was it something you had been thinking about for a long time, and you said, well, one day I'm going to do it, or was it something you just thought of overnight?
Actually, during the first wave of the pandemic, my wife came out to me while I was drinking in the garage some adult beverages and said that you have to get a real job. You have to do something. Like, you cannot just keep drinking in the garage. And I was listening to Joe Rogan. I was listening to many other Bill Burr and other podcasts. And
my husband's obsessed with Joe Rogan. Yeah.
I said, I think I can do this. I think I can make my own podcast. So I did. I started my own podcast. And within 14 episodes, I had a company contact me and say, we love what you're doing, and we want to give you money for ad reads. And I said, my God, like, I'm 14 episodes in. I didn't even know that was a thing. Here I am. But then they checked my downloads and they said, you know what, you have to get those downloads up because we cannot possibly invest in you with, I think I was only averaging about 90 downloads an episode.
Right.
And they said, if you get those downloads up, we'll invest in you. And I said, okay, so I'm new at this game. So how do I get those downloads up? What is your option? What is your opinion? And they said, get big names on your shows, get some celebrities, get some name value, drag people to your show.
Right.
So I tried, and I was on social media for weeks, trying to get celebrities on my show, Instagramming them, Twittering them, Facebooking them, whatever the case was. And the ones who did answer were usually no. And then some of them who did answer were asking for money. They were saying, yeah, I'll come on your show for, such and such a fee. And I said, okay, that's cool. So I crunched the numbers and I said, I'm going to take this professional wrestler, who I'm a big fan of professional wrestling, always have been.
Okay.
And I said, I will pay this guy what he's asking for to come on my show. So we made the deal. I paid Powell the money. The day of the podcast, he didn't show up.
Was it really him though, or was
Oh,
it
no,
someone who had
no.
taken over his page?
1,000% him.
those scam. No, it was him.
It was 1,000% him.
You must have been heartbroken because you were a fan.
Correct.
And for someone like that to do that to you, someone that you admire
And put your faith in.
and put your faith in, and you trusted, and he did that. I am very upset. I don't even know who it is, but I am so mad. That is not right. Did you follow up with him and say, hey, I paid you the money. Why did you not show up?
So this was during the first wave of COVID. So I had
okay.
to give some I had to give some some length. So he said my kid had COVID and he's in the hospital. Okay, fine. But then it went on 3, 4, 5 weeks, and I'm DMing him and he's still not coming on. But long story short, I felt that this guy was taking advantage of me because I was a novice podcaster, and that's what he was doing.
Right.
So I took the way to shame him on social media. So I put out a couple of tweets, trashing him, and all of a sudden I got a DM back saying, "Please take those tweets down. I will come and do your show." So, long story short, he did do my show, but during this whole process, I came up with this and said, to get people on your show, to get the download numbers, to get the people to come to your network, to download your show, it shouldn't be this difficult.
No.
And I took the Cameo prospect where it was you could pay $40 for someone to say happy birthday or great wedding day or whatever the case may be. I took that premise and I incorporated it into the podcast community. I said, it's the same thing. So I built this website from the ground up. We're the only people doing this in the whole world. We're the only one doing this with celebrities on podcasts. We're the only one. And I incorporated all of these things, and I worked my butt off. We've been open 17 months. I go to Comic-Cons. I'm on social media every day. I'm working my butt off to get the best possible podcast guests. And I built this from the ground up. And I built Podstars to where podcasters can simply book a celebrity from the click of a button, and they get the best possible podcast guests that they can possibly get.
Well, I hope that you see, I'm all about the business, but I hope that you took steps to make sure that you patented everything, your idea, you did the LLC, and you did everything because, of course, obviously, once your Podstars gets out, everybody's going to be copying it. But you want to make sure that you are known as the original. And the way to do that is to legitimately get yourself, the LLC, to trademark it. Very easy. You don't even pay no money. You just send it to the Library of Congress, the name, and that's all you need. But anyway, we can talk about business. I'm all about the business. I'm like, I don't want him to lose that business because I did not do any research, Jay. But when I came across it on Instagram, I loved the idea, and I said, wow, how many companies are doing that? That's a fantastic idea. You are sitting on a gold mine, my darling. Make sure you do it properly via a lawyer on retainer. Do the business stuff because your idea is so great, and people are going to come for you. They're going to come for your idea. They're going to steal it, and they're going to be able to make money off of it and become millionaires, and it's your original idea. So I just want to make sure I said that because it's a great idea. Now that you're telling me the story behind it, I want you to protect it. It's your baby, and it's an opportunity for you to be a conglomerate. You can build your empire, Jay. You've got your empire to think of.
I love an empire.
Build your empire. Okay, so first of all, great name, Podstars with a Z. Fantastic. Who came up with that? Was that your wife?
Yeah, it was my wife. 1,000%.
I knew it. That's a woman behind that name. That's a brilliant name. Hope you got that trademarked. So secondly, now, how do you decide to make your plans with Podstars? Like, did you do a 5-year plan where you say, okay, well, the first year I'm going to focus on building up my celebrity roster. Second year, I'm going to focus on building my sports celebrity data roster. How do you process it? How did you process it?
That's a great question. And that's why you're such a fantastic podcast host. I'll tell you right now. Great question.
Thank you.
So when I first dreamt up this idea, and I brought it to my 2 best friends in the world, who I've known for over 25 years, and I said, like, I think this is something, and we need to do this right now. We made an agreement that we want to build up the talent roster so big, so that when podcasters did find us, they didn't come on and say, "Oh wow, they've got 40, 50 guests." Like, a big deal.
Yeah.
I can do that myself. I wanted to build up the talent roster so big that they couldn't possibly turn us down. So that's what I've done. So at year to date, we've been up at 17 months. We have over 400 guests. Now, keep in mind, we do have 2 categories. It's not just the cameo celebrity basis.
Yeah.
We also have another side where it's like hardworking professionals. So we're talking people who don't have the platform to be celebrities, right? So we're talking NYPD, FDNY, lawyers, teachers, scientists, authors, people who don't have the celebrity, status to get podcast interview booked, but they have amazing achievements that they want to also talk about. So for $8.99 a month, the price of less of a Starbucks latte, you can book like amazing professionals and then head over to the celebrity section and say, like, you know what, I'm going to move my game up a bit, and then book like a Tim Russ or a Tom Arnold or a Danielle Vasanova, who's on our front page, who's a model entrepreneur and was married to one of the Shark Tank guys. We have 30 professional wrestlers. We have like anything, like our true crime category, our wrestling category, our author category, our actor category is incredible. And like, we're literally giving podcasters what they need to bring their show to the next level without doing the hard work of spending 4 months DMing celebrities, asking them for come on my show, and blah, blah, blah. And on a side note, one of the reasons I also came up with this, because I also had my own podcast back in the day.
Okay.
And I was reaching out to celebrities, and they were saying, no, pay me, blah, blah, blah. I get it. So I understood where this was going.
Right.
With 4 million podcasts, there's only so many podcasts the celebrities are willing to do for free before they're like, enough is enough.
I got to tell you, Jay, I have many celebrity friends, and they would do anything for me, but I ask them to first of all, I don't ask my celebrity friends to do anything, because that's how you can not have a celebrity friend. But if it's business and they're saying, oh my God, I love so-and-so, I will say, would you please come on their show? And I, being a very good friend, they won't do it for me, because they say, well, you know what? They say, go through my agent or my manager.
Yes.
I don't handle that. You and I hang out. You come to my house. We go out. We do dinner. We do celebrity, non-celebrity things. But I'm not coming on a podcast of somebody, if it's not Joe Rogan or any of the popular podcasts. They're just not going to do it. It's very difficult. So that's why I'm so very impressed that you have someone like Tim Ross and Josie Bassett and all of the other people that I saw, because that's very impressive that you got them to agree to do it. Okay, so I'm going to play a person asking you questions for the average person who's a podcaster and may just be starting. Hi, Jay. I want to have people on my show. I would love to have celebrities. 1, does it cost anything? 2, is there a contract involved? 3, how do I go about doing it?
So the first step for any podcaster is to head to www.podstars.net. You create a host account, and once we verify
for free.
Okay. And once we verify that you're an actual legit podcaster, because one of the things that we wanted to do was to make sure that we didn't have our celebrities getting sandbagged by
What does that mean?
clickbait pod. We didn't want
What does that mean?
we didn't want our celebrities getting asked questions that, say one of our celebrities got a DUI in 1995.
Oh, I see.
We didn't want a podcaster coming on the site basically like, let's talk about that DUI you got back in 1995.
Right.
So
Oh, tacky.
if you're a podcaster, we verify to make sure that you're legit. We don't just let everybody on the site. We want to make sure that our celebrities are safe. It's a safe space because we're here to make everybody happy. So if you're a podcaster and you're legit and you just want to have a great interview and start getting your downloads up, go to podstars.net.
Yeah.
Once you're approved by one of our staff members,
so let me stop you right there, Jay. So when I go on this website to podstars.net, what does that entail? Name, address, phone number. I don't have to put any credit card information or any private stuff. Nope. What would I put in there?
If you just wanted
to register.
If you just wanted to peruse our catalog of both professionals and celebrities, it's literally just your email, your picture and your photo and all that good stuff, and that's it.
And the website,
so we make sure that you are who you are. And then if you want to book somebody, that's the only time we ask for credit card information or anything like that. So we just want to make sure that everybody is in a happy space, and we don't want to have anybody get sideswiped by someone who's trying to get clickbait or trying to get their downloads up by asking an inappropriate question. So we vet our subscribers.
So if I wanted to hire a celebrity, I have a podcast show. I want to hire a celebrity. I go on, I register for free, and then I pick out the celebrity that I want. There's a form that pops up, and on this form, it will say, okay, pay. Is it the $8.99 you were talking about for a month, or do you pay per celebrity?
So two things. First of all, our website is innovative because what we have done is we have excluded the fact that celebrities have to receive an email from a podcaster to get the link to their podcast. Yes. Our website actually does that on site. So if you wanted to book a Tom Arnold or a Demolition from WWF or whatever, as soon as you make an account and you're approved, you have access to our full catalog, whether it be professionals or celebrities. So if you want to book a celebrity for for your podcast, as soon as you choose to book them for what availability they're available for, you put in your Zoom link or your StreamYard or your Squadcast link right there. And then you submit that to the celebrity. They choose whether or not they're available or not. 9 times out of 10, they are available, and they will accept your request right off the bat. The day of the podcast, the celebrity logs on to their account and clicks on the link that you've already provided on our website, and they're automatically connected through the Podstars website. Now,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. For the $8.99 a month, that is the professional category, whereas that's 150 people, safari guides, Major League Baseball umpires, lawyers, doctors, scientists. That is a separate category from the celebrities.
So with the celebrities, if I wanted to book the celebrities, I don't have to pay the $8.99. I can just select them, and then do they get paid, and do you pay them right there?
So the podcaster puts the down payment on their credit card for whatever the celebrity is asking. We don't put up the fees. We leave it up to the celebrity. Once the podcaster decides to book a celebrity, the podcaster loses whatever that is, the funds, whatever that is, to us, and then we submit it to the guest 24 hours after the podcast is completed. So no money is gone. If the celebrity declines, the podcaster gets their money right back. If the celebrity doesn't show up, the podcaster gets their money right back. Everything is vetted. Everything's 100% guaranteed on both sides. Nobody is ever unhappy at Podstars.
And so there's a terms and agreement on the website that they can download and agree to.
It's on our blog site. Yes.
Yeah. And so the celebrity is the one that puts the fee up, so the person who wants to hire them will be able to see that fee to make a decision whether or not
Correct. As soon as
they're
they make an account, if you don't make a Podstars account, you're not able to see what everybody's asking.
of
We just think
course.
that's fair. So
Yeah.
build an account on the Podstars website, then you're able to see what the celebrities are asking for,
Oh.
the time they're asking for, and it's up to you whether or not to make the decision whether to move forward or not.
That's fantastic. And do they pay through PayPal so that if something happened, PayPal refunds them, or who's actually going to deal with it? Are you the middleman between the celebrity and the person booking?
So unfortunately, because Podstars is based out of Canada, we don't have access to Venmo or Cash App or anything like that. So right
Oh,
now, we have to deal through PayPal or money transfers. But
okay.
most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be PayPal. But
Oh, that's
so
good because they offer a money back guarantee.
they do. They
Right,
do. But
especially if you
unfortunately, there's
choose
fees
business
attached to
and
that.
services. So you should always do business, tip for the people. Always do business and services. Don't do friends and family, because business and service, you can get your money back. But that's great. I mean, I would feel safe in doing that if I'm paying through PayPal, because I know I'm going to get my money back. That's
We,
very safe, Jay. I like that. I like
we
that a lot. So if I wanted to book just, oh, all right, let's do this. I'm a person, I have a podcast show, but I want to go on other people's shows. I want to be a guest. Do you offer that service?
Of course we do. So if you're a podcaster who wants to get booked to be interviewed, then you would sign up at podstars.net as a professional. And that way, everybody can kind of recycle each other and use each other to get their downloads up as well. So
Isn't that great? It's a podcast community, Jay.
it really is.
We should all be doing that. I have so many friends that are podcasters, and when I have someone great on my show, I'll always send a text, "Hey, I just had this person on the show. Would you be interested in booking them?" And then I give them the information, they vet them, and then I just say, "Here you go," because I don't want to be in the middle. Just do your thing and book them. And I love it because people are getting interviewed. They have great guests. Everything works out beautiful. I'm all about peace, love, and harmony. I should be in the garage with you drinking a beer one day. Coming at the
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah, it should be fun. I know I've been doing this show, Jay, for 22 years, and I have never had one show that I didn't love. Because I vet the people. I'm not getting people on here that are crazy.
It's all about vetting.
Can't have any crazies on here. Now, okay, so yeah, and I was just thinking that we got to talk after the show, because I think that you would be a great guest on so many of my friend shows, and they have a ton of followers. So text me on that. I'm gonna hook you up, honey. Hook you up.
I'm actually on the Podstars website as a professional, so I can be booked on the Podstars website.
So we can book your little butt as
book me all day, all night. I'm available.
Yeah.
I'm married with children. I have no life. I just want to be talking podcast.
You want to talk instead of the wife talking all the time. The wives do talk.
I'm not going to say that out loud.
Don't say that out loud. But yeah, so a question for you about do you ever travel and come to the States and do interviews in the studio like they do actually have? So is that something, or is it all video on Podstars?
So another reason you're a great host is you ask great questions. Because I heard your intro where you were like, you saw me in the swimming pool and you were like, I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
Well, that was in Dubai. So I went to Dubai, and that was the Aurora pool that the celebrities go to. So that's where that picture was from.
Oh, wow.
So I've gone to Dubai to try and book clients. We were just recently at 90s Con in Daytona, Florida, where that's where I met Josie Bissett and a few other of our celebrities that we have. I've been to Philadelphia to book celebrities there. Like, I make the work, I do the grind, I'm working hard, like I'm doing this myself, but I do have 2 other partners, but unfortunately I am the one who's tasked with going out and doing the grind.
Me too, honey. I got to come up with 52 people a year, and I haven't run out yet because I'm always booked 6 months to a year in advance. I don't know, but it's what you do. I go out to parties, I network, I market. Everybody I run into, I'm like, hey, would you like to come on my radio show? And I love doing that because, what's better than a party? I just load them up with cocktails, give them a beer to swig, and they're like, yes, I'd love to come on your show. Great.
I think cocktails is the key. I think that's what it is, because sober, I have a lot of, we'll see. But drunk, I think that's where we get them, to sign the contract, and next thing you know, they're off to the races.
Yeah, you got to wear a hat with the 2 beers and the straw. And I'm going out. I'm ready. So what type of shows do you not allow on Podstars? Like, I don't particularly, nothing against it, but it's too controversial. I don't have political guests on the show because it's crazy. It's too much. So that's about the only thing that I won't allow is political shows. What shows don't you feel comfortable with?
So right now, we've had a few people sign up that we weren't comfortable with, mostly because of their, and I don't want to say political views, I want to say their social media posts.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe there might be an issue at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm from Canada, so
yes.
the politics for me is kind of a playing field that I'm not comfortable with, explaining, because I don't know enough about it. So
me neither. Exactly.
So
why would I have a show on politics when I can't think from a lobbyist platform? I can't. Now my husband, oh my God, he knows everything about politics. He watches podcasts all day, but I cannot talk about it. So I could not intelligently do a podcast show. And I think that's a good tip, Jay. I don't think podcasters should attempt to bring people on their show if they don't already know the answers and are genuinely interested, because it's going to come across. And if the person asks you a question and you have no idea, you're going to look like an idiot, a dumbass. So that's why I don't bring political people on the show, because I do not know how to talk politics.
And as a business owner now, I find it hard to discriminate against somebody for their political views, because not only is that not my vein, but who am I to say, like, you cannot come on my site because of your I'm hoping in our blog section, in our rules and regulations, we totally vet and say, like, if you try and sandbag one of our clients, you're going to lose your money and they're going to get paid regardless, and you're off the site, you're canceled. That's the best we can do at this point, because at this point, like, it's 2024. Everybody has an opinion. And who am I to say that your opinion is not right? It's not right. It's not my job.
Yeah, so that's why I don't have either party on, because I don't care who's right and who's wrong. No one's going to ever agree, Jay, with anybody. Never. It's just not going to happen. So it's like, I don't want to deal with that. And I like to talk about happy stuff. I want to talk about arguing and fighting and who's right and wrong. I am not interested in that. Now, Podstars boasts over 150 extraordinary professionals. I love, you said, when you were saying New York firemen and policemen, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should ask Jay if they do home visits. I could fly them in. Have that fantasy about the firemen and the cop.
That's an extra cost, huge cost. I haven't got there yet, but it's huge cost.
I know. Can you imagine? Oh yeah, you've turned it not only from a cameo site, it's went into a porn site or a 1-900 site, right? Oh, I'm gonna pick that up. Oh my Lord. Okay, so what are the some fascinating stories that you have? You've been on pretty much doing this for 17 months. You gotta have some funny stories. Give me one funny story.
Oh geez, I have a lot.
All right, give me all you got.
As a business owner, I have to be very careful.
Yeah. No, don't mention names. Don't say
okay.
bad things. Just funny. Like, oh wow, that ended
Okay.
up being funny.
I will say that I had a actor or actress who was booked for an interview, and everything was booked solid. Like I said, like we send out reminder emails to both parties to make sure that nobody forgets about the actual interview.
Good.
But I did have somebody who texted me and said, "I'm completely hammered, and I don't think I can do this podcast interview." So I immediately emailed the podcaster and I said, "This is a situation. If you want to move forward, I understand, but you cannot take advantage of the situation."
Right.
And both parties agreed to do it.
Wow.
And then I watched it afterwards, and I regret giving the go ahead.
Oh,
I should have said,
no.
it was. I don't want to say it was embarrassing, but when you ask somebody a question and they're just staring at you with their mouth open,
yeah,
it kind of makes me think that this interview is not going to get where it's got to go.
no.
But at the same time, in the podcast world, that's clickbait. Like I had this
Yes!
on my show, and they were just like staring at me like.
And you know what you should do? Put a bloopers reel together, Jay, and put it on your Facebook. I mean, on your YouTube.
Well, not me.
Well,
not
they may
me.
not.
That's not your business.
You don't have to
That's
blur the face out. Can't
Maybe
do that. You'll be getting sued.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
So you said that you have additional extra services. Was it something we covered already, or what were you talking about?
No, we actually haven't covered that. So for every interview booked, whether it be a professional or a celebrity, if you send us your podcast logo, we will put it together a beautiful graphic that has your logo, the celebrity's face on them. We'll send it back to you free of charge. You can post it out to your socials. The other things are we retweet, we comment, and we make sure that the person you're interviewing does the exact same thing. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to get your downloads up. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you get likes and retweets and all that good stuff. And when the celebrity does it too, that's just an added bonus to make sure that, everyone knows that you've got a great show, a great interview, and it was all done thanks to Podstars.
Right. I mean, I constantly ask the guest, can you please help cross-promote the show? Post it on your sites. Send it. Do everything I do. I send out an email blast. I've got a subscriber list of over 50,000 people. I have a huge social media network.
You were fantastic in this lead up to the interview, by the way. The things you were sending me to put on my story.
I get to be a pest.
You guys are amazing. Your whole team, thank you very much. You guys are incredible. And Podstars is very, very happy that we have met you guys.
Well, I knew you were going to be a fun guest. I could tell by that video. I said, "Woo, Jay is going to be my most favorite guest when it comes to interviewing today." And of course, I'm only interviewing you.
I love it.
So it's not saying that anyone wasn't, right? But yeah, I love your energy. Very high energy. Very persuasive. You could be a car salesman, a vacuum salesman, you could sell anything. There's nothing you couldn't sell. Now, you wanted me to ask why Podstars is beneficial to the podcast community. Now, we talked about it briefly, but is there any extra stuff you're doing? Like a lot of people say, a percentage of benefits go to, so for example, if you are trying to get a celebrity, I'll give you a tip. One of the ways you get them to say yes instead of no, say, well, a percentage goes to a charity. You'll book them like that. And you say, we also promote that you gave to this charity. You've got them hook, line, and sinker. So just a little tip for you. But what do you feel Podstars is beneficial to the community in any other way other than how we talked?
So we do have several celebrities who do take a portion of their podcast interviews and give to charity. And Podstars is more than willing to do that as well. The thing with charity is it's hard to nail down one cause. I mean, there's so many causes. So we leave that up to the celebrity. And if the celebrity is a part of like breast cancer or colon cancer or sick kids or pets, then we also donate as well. So that's what we do.
Mhm.
We just mimic what the celebrity is asking for. So
Mhm.
it's easy
Yeah.
that way.
You could do like a charity of the month. That's a good idea.
So
If I ever start charging, I'll do a charity of the month. Okay, so what else do you do as far as the community? Do you?
we just make sure that, so going back to the first part of you 25 minutes ago, was you said, are there other sites? And I said there are no other sites. So let me articulate that. There
Okay.
are other podcast guest booking sites, but there are no celebrity podcast guest booking websites. So what we have done is we've changed the game as far as making this easy for the podcast community. Now, that being said, there is another site out there, and I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to try and give them free promo, but there is another site out there who does do podcast guest bookings, but it's all done through AI. So you would put in whatever podcast genre that you'd like to interview, and AI automatically spits out a name, and you book that guest. The thing about Podstars is we work with you from the time you work our site to the time you walk out. We want to, if you need advice, so if you sign up for the $8.99 a month and you want to say like, Jay, you have 150 to 200 guests on there, who should I book? I'm going to email you personally and say, these are my options and these are who I think, I'll give you a list. I'm the one, sorry, my team does your graphics, but I'm the one who contacts you personally and says, I like what you're doing. This is what I think. If you need podcast advice on mics or sound or surround sound or anything like that, I'm here for you. I am literally the one-stop shopping for Podstars. I want to make sure personally that you have the best possible interview. And if you need help podcasting, you want advice or you need something, I am there for you 24 hours a day.
And you offer this service via email or text or Instagram. What is the best way for them to reach out to you?
So we're on all social media platforms. We prefer the email, but I also give my cell number and I will text you back. I mean, wow. I am in Toronto, Canada, so I am on EST. So as long as we can make that time, the time zone thing work,
yes.
I will text you back. I will email you back. I am literally going to help you build your show to the best possible scenario. I want to get you those downloads. I want to get you the ad reads that you get from downloads. Yeah. I want to get your show to the next level. I want everyone to be successful because, as I said in that YouTube video, these celebrities, they're all recycling their friends, and it's just one big circle jerk of people, and they're all getting their downloads. They're all making more and more and more money. We should have that opportunity too. We have a podcast. We have a passion. We want to get downloads. We want our show to be successful, and we may need some help. And there is no shame in going to Podstars and paying $9 a month to get a great interview.
Oh, no. I mean, I would think it would be a huge relief to let somebody else do the work for once rather than you having to worry about it, especially if you have another job. Like I'm a film producer and I work on a film. I own a website design company. I really don't have time to be booking my own people. But, I have a person who does that. I have people. We all need people who need people.
I am that people.
The luckiest people in the world. Right?
Podstars is that people.
You're my people. You're my person. That's like the new teen thing. It used to be, oh, he's my soulmate. Now it's, he's my person. I want to find my person. Oh my God. But we all need people. So now we've moved on to almost the end of the show, but I loved your video so much that I said we have to show this. One, because you are covering a situation that's happening. It's been happening for a couple of years now, but I think that you very tersely and concisely told us about this. And when I was talking today to a couple of people, I said, I'm going to add Jay's podcast, Jay's video from YouTube on here because what he's talking about is this. And they said, really? I never heard about that. I don't know about that. And I said, well, you'll have to tune into the show to be able to see Jay
You're
talking
fantastic.
about this.
You're fantastic. Like,
Woo!
it's just the way,
All right.
the way you lay the bread comes out. It's just fantastic. I love you. You're awesome.
Thank you. Well, you're gonna have to be back on my show.
I think I am.
You're gonna have to book me for some shows.
I think we have a thing going on here. I think we could. But
we're gonna do it.
I like this. I like this.
I'm liking it. You're talking like you live in LA and you're in Canada. I think I'm rubbing off on you.
I'll do it. I'll take it.
So we're gonna watch Jay's video. When we come back, we're gonna end the show. We'll just briefly, if he wants to talk about what this video is about, or if I have any questions, we'll talk about it, and then we'll be closing out the show. But please watch this video because it is very important. We'll be back if the video comes on.
Hi everybody, it's Jay. And usually I'm making these types of videos because I'm talking to you about a crazy new edition of the website, or there's something huge happening in the Podstars world that I want to tell you about. But today, unfortunately, I need to talk to you about something a little bit more serious, and that's fraud. It has come to my attention that there is a new scam being perpetrated, and it all revolves around podcasting. This past weekend, I was a vendor at NostalgiaCon in Toronto, where I had the pleasure of meeting a celebrity who told me that just last week, he experienced this scam himself. He received an email through his personal account from a podcaster who was asking him to be a guest on his show and offering him a large sum of money, and it all had to do with going through Facebook. So I'm not sure how that works, whether it be a Facebook Live or some sort of multiple Zoom chat situation, but it all revolves around Facebook and podcasting, of course. So the celebrity accepted the interview, and on the day of the interview that was scheduled to go through Facebook, he clicked on the link that was provided, and he immediately was locked out of his Facebook, losing access to his family, his friends, his fans, and everything that he had on his personal Facebook account. Now, the perpetrator of this fraudulent act started to contact his celebrity friends, acting and posing as him, and also his fans, asking for money and gift cards and things of that nature. So this is definitely happening, and we all need to be very wary of who we are talking to on social media, and especially when someone is offering you a large sum of money to do something like a podcast interview. Now, as unfortunate as this situation is, and now that we know that it is happening, this is a great time to tell you that on the Podstars website, this never happens, because our website actually does the interview on the site. So you never have to worry about clicking on a link that's going to steal from your social media, or clicking on an email link that could access your email. The entire interview goes through the Podstars website. So we work very hard to make sure that it's a very safe space for hosts, professionals, and especially celebrities, because I would figure that this type of scam is going to target celebrities more than anybody else. But we are all going to get hit, and we're all going to be taken advantage of, it looks like. So this is something that we all need to know is happening, and we have to be very careful who we're talking to on social media, and especially our private emails, which apparently are getting easier and easier to access by these people. So that's what that is. If you have any questions, or you want to know more about the Podstars website, please feel free to reach out to us on social media or email us. We are all over the place, and we'd be glad to tell you how the Podstars website can help you be a podcast guest or book celebrities for your podcast. So that's what Podstars is here to do, is to make sure that everybody's privacy is intact, and to make sure that you have the best possible interviews possible, and that the person you're booking is actually that person as well, because that is also something we need to worry about. So there's a lot of fraud going on the internet. We all know that, but it's videos like this that hopefully will get out there and let people know that it's happening, and hopefully everybody plays safe, and we can all just have great podcast interviews. And that's all I've got to say about that. So thanks a lot for listening. I appreciate it. And I will have another announcement of another new edition coming very shortly. So until that time, I'm Jay, Podstars.net. Bye for now.
See, I want to buy something from you. What are you selling over there? I want to buy something. But no, but that topic, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you put that out there. Do I have permission to promote that particular YouTube video? I would like to share that with
1,000%, because you know what, like, even if it takes away from my business, it has nothing to do with the Podstars business. What is happening? What is happening right now is horrible, and I've had 3 celebrities who have actually been hit with it on my site, and I've had others who have gotten the emails and asked me. They've had the foresight to say, like, "Is this fraudulent?" And I'm like, "Thank you for email. Yes, 1,000% it is fraudulent." So this is happening. I mean, these people are finding ways to steal. They're finding ways to take advantage of people, and it's going to keep happening. And this is just a small step. It starts with this, and it's going to go further. So, if anything you can do to help, anything that I can do to help, I just nobody should have to go through this. Like these celebrities who were asked or who were willing to do these interviews for free or get paid, whatever the case may be, don't deserve what has happened to them. And this certain celebrity, he told me that he had several friends who had mailed them in Canada, e-transferred, I guess in the US it's Venmoed. They Venmoed cash immediately when this person asked for money through their account. So this is a very real thing, and it's going to take a hit on the podcast community. And anyone who can do anything to prevent this from happening, it needs to be done. So I appreciate it, and please send it out and do whatever you can to help us.
Yeah. And for people thinking of before you send money, please, people, come on. Now you hear these stories, make sure up in the URL browser there's a little lock. Is it locked or is it unlocked? If it's not locked, it's not safe to send money. That means it's not a secure site. PayPal is a very valuable source to send money, but again, just because someone's on PayPal accepting money doesn't mean that they're actually legit. Vet. Here's my tip. Everybody should pay a very small amount I can't recommend one off the top of my head, but there are sites that you go to that you can run credit checks, not only for you, but someone else. I say if you're single and you're looking for a husband, ladies, you need to be going to one of these sites, paying like $2.99, run all information that you have on them, or anytime there's money involved, you can do a credit check. Spokio, that's it. Spokio.com is one that I know. I think there's 411.com, but you can run their name. You can run a credit check on them. You can run their social security number. If you have it, you got to wait till they go to sleep and go through the wallet for this, ladies. No, I'm not saying that.
The underground tips. I love it. The underground tips. Oh, wow. Here we go.
No, I did that. Okay, they're sleeping. No problem. Oh, get an eye. That's right. A thumb.
Podstars.net does not have any affiliation with going through wallets and stuff.
No, nothing. It's all me. But seriously, you should go on these websites and run people before you go out on dates with them. Don't go on Tinder and go out and bring them to your house. I had stories from a friend who went on Tinder. And she said, I think for our first date, I'd love to cook them a home-cooked meal. Are you crazy inviting a stranger over to your house? So that's the point. And there are websites that let you do that. And you can at least say, well, I did as much as I could to save my money. I ran them through the site there because, Jay, you very well know these sites, you can find out a person's criminal history, background history. Did they have any DWIs? Sure. And if one of those things come up, it's a red flag. So you probably shouldn't be sending them a lot of money. If it's like $8.99, what the hell? I mean, that's, as you said, it's a coffee. Something happens, it's $9. It's not a problem. But, with people sending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, it's a problem. But I feel confident that you are going to be very successful, Mr. J. Is it Cowal or Cowal?
It is Cowal. You pronounce it the first
Cowal,
time, right?
Like Simon. Simon Cowal.
I get that all the time. but I'm not. It's different spelling, first of all, and I don't
Yeah,
have my bank account.
one extra L. You got one missing L. But I have a feeling that you are going to be super successful for this. So you better hire someone to return those emails because you're going to be too busy running all over the place. Well, if you ever come to LA, you and the wife come to LA, I'll hook you up, introduce you to tons of people, go to some parties, you'll get some guests at the very least. That's what I do. We'll hit the parties. How many guests did you get, Jay? We can do it. It's an option.
There's an offer that goes on the table. I love that.
Bring the wife.
I'm all in.
We'll send her to Disneyland with the kids, and we'll go hit the street. Me, you, and my husband will hit the street.
My kids are 25 and 19.
Get out of here! Oh my God, you look like you're in your 20s.
I wish I was.
Wow, what's going on up there in Canada? What the hell's in that water? I'm moving to Canada. That's what it is. Yeah. And we know you're keeping your skin looking young with that Canadian beer, right?
Oil of Olay twice a day.
Oh my God. Okay, everybody. Well, again, Podstars gives the entire podcast community an opportunity to hire people for your show and also as a celebrity or a professional to come on there. Regardless of what the podcast is about, I imagine it's entertainment industry. So far, we talked about sports. We talked about, what other category did we talk about?
Everything. Influencers, musicians, athletes. We have it all.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, my friend Max Tucci, his grandfather opened Delmonico's, which is a very famous restaurant in New York. And he just opened his restaurant, Tucci. So we should try to get him on the show. Actually on the website, because he's a celebrity in the food world.
We have chefs as well.
See, when you come here, we're going to talk. All right.
Let's do it.
So everybody, let's run his socials before he leaves us. Let's see. We got podstars.net. Why did you go with .net instead of .com? Was it taken?
It was not taken, but it was too overused, and we wanted to stand out.
Oh, okay.
And it sounded better. Podstars.net rolls off the tongue better than .com.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Podstars.net. You can email him. Can I give the email?
Absolutely. Everything.
Okay. Email podstars.info@gmail.com. He's on Instagram at podstars_net. Facebook at Podstars. X Twitter at Podstars Team. And TikTok. I got to go on your TikToks. And I subscribe to all your channels, but I haven't gone to TikTok yet. I can't. Jay, I go on TikTok. Next thing you know, 8 hours has gone by. So what the hell has happened to 8 hours of my life?
I've heard that you lose life. Yeah.
I try to avoid it. Anyway, Jay is on Podstars Team on TikTok and the Podstars Team podcast. So there you go, Jay. You are off and running with this. I need you to build that empire.
We're trying.
All right, get the wife, get the kids on the assembly line, get them all signed up.
That's it.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I'm honored to be here, and you are a fantastic host, and your videos and your promo and everything like that, you are fantastic. Your team's fantastic, and I am truly humbled to have been a guest.
Thank you. I do it up. Well, we're going to do it up for each guest because everybody's special.
And this is going to be a recurring thing from what I hear. This is where I'm going to be a recurring guest. It's going to be the Leona Podstars.
Yes.
We'll figure it out. We'll talk.
Yes, you better come on here every time to announce when you have a new celebrity. That could be our thing.
I've done it every day.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's once a week. We got to limit it. But anytime anything's exciting, let me know. We'll bring you back on. Maybe we can have another fun time.
All right, let's do it. I'm 1,000% in.
Podstars.net, Jay Cowal. We'll see you soon up in Canada.
Do it.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.